Do our unboxing of the shelving unit. So this is a 600-pound heavy-duty shelving unit from Lowe's. This is kind of the basis of the whole system. When you undo this, you'll notice that there are these little black circles in here that are separating the shelves. So what you want to do is take those off, and then you just reach in, lift. You'll be able to slide the shelving units out. These little black parts here are your locks for the different shelves. You want to hang on to those. And I'm just going to move these over to the side. On this last shelf, you'll notice we have the poles, they're legs for this thing. They come in two sections. So we're going to take this out. We're going to find a set of clippers, pop these cable ties off so we can take off the poles and get those set up. Use the razor knife. Be careful not to cut yourself as you're doing this. And a fun thing with cable ties, if you cut it like so, I can actually pull this out and reuse the cable tie. So you've got bottom section, top section. They thread together like so. The next thing is to figure out spacing for the racks. So I've taken each rack piece, put it on the legs for ease. I'm going to take the second pole. I'm going to slide it through shelf holes like so. Alright, now I can spread these things out without having to worry about them falling over. Play around with placement of different components. And when I'm happy with how they're spaced out, I can mark them with some Sharpie, and then I'll know that's my stopping point when I go to put this together. So the rack is partially assembled. Now I'm going to show you the components and how they fit in here. So we're going to start at the bottom. Just above the floor, we're going to use the 17-gallon Commander tote from Lowe's. That's going to be our sump. So this will be the lowest point in the system where the water will drain to and then be pumped out of. Next level up, we have two more of these. One will be our clarifier. That's going to be the first stage stop for waste coming directly out of the tank, where they'll get a chance to settle, where it can be scooped and removed easily. Second will be our bioreactor. Bioreactor is where bacteria will work on the ammonia in the system, in the water, and convert that to something less toxic for the fish. And then from there, it'll drain into the sump. This section here will be for our tank. You've got a couple of tank options. So this is a 40-gallon glass aquarium from Petco. We're just going to slide it right in here. These are relatively heavy, so be careful with it as you're moving it around. Okay, so the next two layers are for our NFT, or nutrient film trough. These are in-ground drainage channels. They're about 5 1/4 inch deep. So the idea is that we'll just use this like an NFT, drill holes in it, and then we can drop our plants into the top. They came in a pack of 6, relatively inexpensive. But like I said, if you're in a position where you can get actual NFT channels, I'd suggest that. Okay, so this layer will have a fluorescent light that also goes in here. It'll sit right above, like so, and we'll attach that to the underside of this rack. And then we'll have 3 more of these channels that go on the top. Like so. And then the last step will be to build a PVC frame that goes over the top of this to hold the top T5 light. So in terms of spacing, what we have is 14 inches at the bottom for the sump, about 16 inches for the next level. This is kind of tight. You need to be able to get in there and be able to scoop the waste out, but we don't have any choices given the tank. We've got about 24 inches for the tank, and this is a good amount of room to be able to get in and manipulate the tank, move fish around, whatever you got to do. And then about 10 inches for the first NFT level. So our trick here is that this is going to be limited to microgreens because this is so tight. So we can set the next level up at 10 inches or 12 inches depending upon what you want to do, how you want to grow. Okay, so you'll notice that this tank, although it's a bit tall, does fit into that space quite nicely and sit evenly on the racks. This is a stock watering tank. So you'll notice that there's quite a bit of space in there, so we can maybe tighten this down a little bit. Give us a little more space going in either direction. So I'll set that in here so it balances. So with this in here, we can slide this level up just a tad, this level down just a tad. So that's just about 12 inches on this level. And we spaced this level out to about 18. And now for the tank section, we're at about 20 inches or so. So we shaved about 4 inches off. The thing to notice with this large tank though is it's got an overhang on it. Almost, it'll probably be about 5 inches once it's fit in there the way it's supposed to be. We can use that to our advantage to bring water out of this stock tank, out of this water tank. But it does mean this is going to stick out past the profile of the actual shelving unit.